Okay, viewers, then shifting from one management to the other, we've got Mr. Ajay Kejriwal, the Executive Director of Choice International Limited, joining us on the show. You know, the international arm of Choice has gone ahead and struck an investment deal. Let's decode that and understand what the outlook is over here. Mr. Kejriwal, hi, morning. Thanks for your time
Good
today.
morning.
Let's
Good
talk
morning.
about this. Yes, let's talk about this 900 crore rupee investment by NHIS. How much of this is earmarked for the MTF funding, technology development, customer acquisition, institutional broking, or other initiatives? Can you give us a split of where this investment is going to be deployed?
So, Snehi, the 900 crore which we are supposed to get it is earmarked to the broking and distribution business. As of now, we have not specified any particular amount to any particular like MTF, how much we have to grow and how much will go to the technology and enhancement of the infrastructure, AI-led research. But broadly, it will go into all these activities. And of course, the primary object is to grow the MTF book, which is the current scenario going in the industry very rapid for the earnings also.
Understood. So that's the priority right now. Mr. Kejriwal, can you talk to us about the deployment period? Any timeline by when the capital will be deployed or any phases in which this capital is going to be deployed?
Yeah, so we have applied for the regulatory approval and we expect the regulatory approval in the next 1 month, and the whole money will be deployed, will arrive in the company after immediately the approval. Now, as and when we grow the business, it is lying with the company and it will be deployed immediately. So there is no phase-wise incoming of the money.
Not looking at any hurdles to acquire that approval, right? It's expected to be an easy approval.
Yeah, it's normally there is no anything special in the approval. It is a get through only the process time, whatever it takes. It's the only that matter.
Okay. And now that this 900 crore rupee investment is going to be trickling in into the company, can you give us a sense of how this translates into your financials, how this is going to be aiding your top and bottom line?
Yeah, so we see in the next 3 years our broking and distribution business to grow year from year at least 5x time.
5x, that's a big number, and that's a number that you've shared with the street as well. It has got, the market excited about the kind of growth guidances that you have. So here's looking forward to that 5x number. And, so much more to talk about that. But let's talk about the demat accounts right now. Choice already has about 1.26 million demat accounts, if I'm not wrong. But out of that, the percentage of active accounts is quite small. What is your target for active client penetration over the next 2 to 3 years, and how much of this 5x growth assumption depends on increasing activity among existing clients versus the clients that you will be focusing on acquiring newly?
Okay. So if whatever you have showed the active account and total demat account, it is the industry-wide practice. The active ratio is almost more or less similar, and we are in line with the industry. Looking to the growth of the next 3 years, of course, the new additions, new acquisitions will be there in the same almost 3 to 4 times the addition will be there, which will be more triggered through the technology expansion and AI-led research and experience given to the customers. So that will help us to bring in more customers, their broking business, their routine weekly funding business, and the MTF book. So that will add cumulatively in the all. Secondly, we have the distribution business also, where we are in the wealth management and the bond distribution. There also this fund will be used, which will enhance our additional revenue and bottom line.
Okay, understood. Thanks for that clarity. Mr. Kejriwal, if you can just give us a number on what the current MDF book is looking like, what's the blended yield, what's going to be the funding cost, and, after this infusion, how large can the MTF book become without depressing the consolidated return on equity?
So the current MTF book is around 400 crore of the choice equity, and we are targeting next 3 years around to reach up to 5,000 crore, the MTF book.
Okay, understood. Also, let's talk about the bottom line. Choice has compounded PAT at roughly 70% over FY21 to 26. Now, going ahead on the back of this infusion and as the base becomes larger, what would be a sustainable PAT growth rate for, let's say, the next 2 to 3 years? And which segments do you believe will contribute the biggest?
So at the consolidated level, the currently broking and distribution is around contributing 55 to 60%. And going forward, since this money is coming to the broking distribution business, of course, it will in shorter term, it will boost their contribution. But along with this, the other businesses of Choice International, like NBFC is there, government consulting is there, investment banking is there, all has a huge growth potential and orders in pipeline. So that will, along with it, it will grow, and we maintain the trajectory of around 70 to 80%, which will go up to 3 to 4x growth in the next 3 years.
Okay, 5x growth going ahead, 3 to 4x growth in the near future is what you're penciling in. So that sounds good. And, let's talk about the IPO mandates. You've ended FY26 with 34 ongoing IPO mandates that represent roughly 7,550 crores of tentative fundraising, if I'm not wrong. Can you provide a
Yes.
waterfall of this pipeline, and what proportion do you realistically expect to translate into the completed transactions over, let's say, FY27 and FY28?
So we see this, or whatever mandates are there, in the next 2 years, we will execute all the transactions.
Okay, all of them. So this entire 7,550 crore rupee
Yes.
pipeline that you have is going to be transacted in the next 2 to 3 years.
Yes.
Okay, so that sounds good. And, going ahead, I'm just trying to understand a little bit better now that an infusion to the extent of 900 crore rupees is going to be seeping into the broking business. Can you give us a sense of what some more numbers in the business are going to be? We've briefly touched about on the top line and the bottom line. Can you give us a little bit more details on some of the metrics that we should be watching out for?
So currently we have 500 crore of the top line in the broking and distribution business. As I told, we are targeting in the next 3 years, 5x growth, and the bottom line is around 120. So we are targeting more than 600 crore of the bottom line.
Okay, that sounds really good, Mr. Kejriwal. On that note, thank you so much for your time, and excited to see how this infusion, translates into the top and bottom line going ahead, and hope to catch you in conversation very soon once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.